I feel like I'm missing something. Oh. So we wasn't sure we were going to do another live, but we just got finished doing some research. So what we actually put together is a Web3 app. So it allows you to make a mark in history digitally. So we read the top banner, the user, the artist, they get digital immortality. Most of the internet is temporary. Tweets get deleted, sites go down. So paying, you get a receipt of their existence on a global permanent ledger that will outlive them. So anything that you actually use, it will permanently be there, and you can like YouTube your receipt. Like I got 500 receipts, or I got 1,000,000 receipts. Of course, that will give me $1 million. But the point is that we were able to work out the kinks in our research. So also along with that, we got to do some little bit of upgrading to it, but we're not going to introduce you to that. We're not going to talk about it at all because we haven't got the fun part, and so we don't know for sure yet. But if I'm understanding it correctly, I might even be able to tokenize it, or I guess that means turn it into a trading asset where you can like buy into it like you would normal crypto. But when it means the global permanent ledger, they're talking about the blockchain. So what I did was I created an app, wrote a HTML code for it, and I HTML code, and I put that on a software service or something, and then I use the Ethereum blockchain or whatever it's called. I'm new to it, and that applies it to the blockchain where you should be able to see what you've done on the site. I'm still working on those minor small appeal to the immortality. So I can't give you a hint though. we are trying to get it to work with trading. So it initially worked. I got it confused, or it was talking about something else, but we were initially trying to get it to work with trading, but it generalized itself back to the original intent. So that fact that we're getting into trading and stuff, and we want to get into the stock market. I actually have a prediction. I think that Nokia is gonna go up. But we'll come back to that. And while this is leaving a mark of immortality, we're gonna try to get it into the trading sector to, I guess, I don't know, put something to it. So back to our Nokia um, hint or prediction. So I made a next post. It's like for comparing. I made four of them. It was comparing Nokia with Apple because I got into IT database a couple of years back, and the one thing that stood out was even though Apple and Windows are classical systems, that's like binary systems, zeros and ones. You and quantum systems are different. We'll talk about that another time. But the one thing I noticed is that their compatibility was kind of bearing some dissension. That's normal, because it's building a computer. So uh one day on campus, I was using the library open room Mac lab, and I was on the Apple for the first time, and it didn't have Microsoft 365 and those kind of other things. I think it probably came out with it, or you have to download it. I'm not sure, but now that I've been working and I started using it again, going to MSN browsers and things, I started seeing more of kind of like Windows features to where you can kind of work with Windows as well. So that was really dope though. And now I took the concept from what I was looking at and how it did transition to work with each other from when Apple first jumped back on the scene with the iPhone and the iMac. Now their stock's like $250. So it was a long time before that happened, but it's been a long time before Nokia was a phone as well too, because I think the Mac, even though it was a computer, they jumped out with the iPhone. So you know, I'm I'm gambling with the thought, but my whole thing was setting up tips on my X account. So if you go to AI.cyber, AI.dot cyber, I believe it's 00. You should see my posts on X with Apple and Nokia. But I set up tips. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow it because I just shared a post today on how video became like this huge stock. How it was $5,000 or something on Motley Fool or something like that, and now or if you would have spent $5,000 in '94 or so, I think when they were discussing video first arriving, was a rare buy um signal or something, and they were saying if you had bought at least 5K during that time, you would have now about 2.9 million or something. So I mean, it was really deep. And for me, I looked at how, because I actually own a Nokia. So this is my Nokia, and this is a G400. But it's a smartphone. Is not actually something that you know is in the iPhone category. But it does this thing. I'm particularly fascinated with the case itself and the two tones. So kind of like it feels and does. It feels like what it kind of like what you're seeing now, like it turns invisible. That's what it kind of feels like when you're using it. But I normally have the case on it all the time. So now that it's dropped a few times, I had to take the case off because um it's just too uncomfortable and weighty. But I searched their website and phones. You gotta Google them now. So when I was back uh, online searching them a while back, they were moving into government contracting and stuff like that. So, but I like the way that this phone is. I'm trying to figure out why they didn't make like a Google Pixel version or something, a fold, or I mean, it's a really good phone. I mean, it's just a really good phone. It just needs more power. It needs more storage. It just needs an upgrade and possibly a folding feature. But I would definitely invest in somebody. So we're on our little Nokia scheme. So hopefully we can conjure up an idea in the mind so that if my app does pan out to work, two a few $100 with I think 10 or 25 or 30 whatever it says users a day, I would get about that a month. um 2500 or something like that if I get uh 50 users or something like that, and 9K a month if I can get 250 users a day. That means if I can get 250 people to spend $1 a day on making their mark on the web, on the internet forever, I can get 100K in a year. But we're waiting because we have to make sure we finish the research because this one, the actual tool that we use, if you write to it, it doesn't go away. That's the thing. So you write your code on there, it stays there. It's gonna be there. It's not going anywhere. So you have to be sure you have it and use it. So we are looking to see what that does so much as security wise, because we have to figure out if that code is digitally leaving cookies for people that actually pay and stuff, and etc. But that goes in my repo, so not set to private, but I don't think that that's what that is, but we're checking on it. So we the thing is, you can create an account on there, but you don't have to create an account. The whole point of it is once you write in the editor and you run the code, it's on the web. It's gonna stay on the internet. It's not gonna leave. It's not like your version control, your databases, your editors, your it's like is a whole different numbering that's gonna stay there. So what it does with what people use it and they make their mark. So they draw a cat. It's going to be a cat drawn on the internet, and then that will translate into numbers and send it to my HTML. Then it writes to the blockchain. So, but like I said, we're done with the research. Now we're doing some fine tuning where we can look at it and understand it from, human readable eyes, so that uh, people actually get the full experience. So, in light of all of that, we were uh, looking at the video details and stuff. And so, I think I jumped around on my place here, but the point is Nokia is coming out with something that they're incorporated with video with, and I just shared the video stock thing today. And a few other companies, um, for Google and Amazon, um, web services or something like that. Uh, it's a little bit of what I'm already working with because I got 4 databases online. So it's just something really major in the second stage that I'm doing, because um, I'm probably gonna either um, write that and then upgrade it, or just add a different uh, app for it to play in the upgraded version. So the price changes on the networks as well. So it may not be $1 for some people using different networks because they're on Bitcoin and they probably got a few million in their wallets, so they're paying $20 on their network. So, they get like a score on Bitcoin. They write, use my app, pick on my, I just want to score on Bitcoin. Don't mess with me. And then they commit it, and then it charges their wallet, and then that, does its thing. And so we're taking our time because, we're working at it for the summer. So without knowing exactly how that's going to do, we just took that time to be wise and completely do a thorough research. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to work because I can then put that back into my entire startup work. So courses and a bunch of other stuff, and that will like kind of launch me into a whole different social status. So much is online because I still refuse to, do anything or go anywhere until my coding and stuff's finished. I just don't see going anywhere, being distracted, because my startup's like all codes. It's backends. I got databases. I got programs. I got um, uh, source files, AI, agentic. So there's a lot of stuff that I have, and it's extremely just um, it's extremely easy. It's just a matter of time it takes to have everything launch at the same time. So with the fact that it's easy and the time that it consumes, if I deviate the coding, when you're coding, it wants what you're trying to build right away. The whole system's gonna re-jog itself, and it's got to go back to asking what it's gonna do. So it's a constant task watching it. Except you just have to keep the right diligence and finish the work, then you put it in the test stage or test level, and then or you do your tests, and you let it sit on a server, and then once you get the money for it to go, so my app works out, I won't need the startup. I can just hire an attorney and uh you know just launch it from there, because most of the startups and the money that you get anyway is to put back into your work, into your company. The only reason I would take this startup is because I think I did this in my last show. I just found this territory in New York. So with doing the startup, I get to buy a office in DC, and I get to buy a a couple of floors in New York. So I'll have a startup company in New York, and then I'll have headquarters in DC. We just had to finish a few courses first, so we got a whole lot of them. We got about 45. So, they're really cool courses. Among them all is uh, AI and business, so we won't be lacking anything. So when we get ready, we can complete our credits for database, and then we can just educate ourselves from our desk, like from our own office, and just get the level of credentials we need to stay on top of the startup that we triggered for one. Because if what I'm doing, I'm trying to get it right now. We have a synthetic, and then we have a portfolio value. So the portfolio value is 70 billion, but that's only one ratio not real. And that one ratio that it isn't 70 billion is that it's not connected to the actual tool that is used by professional capitalist companies or venture companies, where you have to buy into it, where it weighs it against real market values, like other companies, what other companies are, etc. So in light of that, it does take the aspect of how startup works. You do micro funding, so that would be like asking family and friends. Then you would do micro lending or something like that, where you do small shops in the local area, or like crowdfunding. You make see like a car show or something on a YouTube advertising coming up or something. You can go there. Then you have uh what is it? Forget the second one. Is micro. I think a C round or a series. There's another one between that. I can't remember. But those are. I'm jumping straight to series rounds. So that one gave me a C round, plus it gave me a value for my codes, and so that all, and it gave me a series A, I think. So that all jumped up to about 70 billion. So I would only probably ask for 1 billion out of that. That way, that puts me in the one of the. It puts me in a top category, because I'm only really looking for to uh, up enhance upgrade my equipment. So I will buy into the offices and the floors from DC to New York, but most importantly, I'll be investing in the systems that are going to the computers, and then looking at local colleges for people that live in New York and people that live in DC. and hire them for as employees, and um that's all that wouldn't everything, and remodeling the inside floors up and down, all that wouldn't come nowhere near more than probably a half of 100 million, if that. I mean, employees, packages, insurance, and most of that is handled by working with basically security, because I'm gonna want a higher floor, because if I am able to get the 1 billion from the value of the worth of the company, then um, I would definitely just have to do a higher floor, because for security purposes. It's because it's a digital company, so we did some, like I said, I take 45 courses, so we're really creating something that is moving forward, because a lot of people are more pessimistic of AI taking over. So I'm just like, my not my description would have post what about the X post Nokia. So they just went from hardware to switching to AI infrastructures. So that would be I can't remember. And they use video. So another company for charging so much as working with Amazon, and so um, it's kind of like a little bit lost thinking. Yeah, so it's kind of like just taken from moving into how if it were AI, but as a digital company, it's not offering the same service. It's not acting as a disruption. I mean, in a sense, but it's more so people have jobs, so they're gonna want more. Uh, I want to say convenience or efficiency, but they're gonna want like uh, upscale services. So we're putting together things that we're looking through the market, like Raspberry Pi, um, AR wearables. We're taking that service to the direction where because we're targeting corporate America. So with these companies paying, let's say $70,000 a year or a month, sorry, $70,000, or I don't know. I haven't figured out the pricing yet, but it varies from a high $800 an hour, or it can go to 400. I mean, for $40,000, $50,000, $75,000, depending on the service. So we go from there. We just work towards including, wearables and stuff like that. So the convenience is more uh, aligned with where the actual marketing is. So marketing is key, because the digital service is actually, something that people do to clear a path for profit. So we've been working with that for a while. We got 4 databases for it. So, you know, it's all in the same, it's all one world. So, but we don't know what the app's gonna do, so we're not gonna get into all that right now. We have that right there. We have everything planned out. We're just waiting for the app to see what that's gonna do, because we want to change. a lot of other different stuff because I also do like some. I'm writing this album called Full Story, so we definitely want to do a video for that because I want to be a world artist. So we have to finish our school, then we have to go back to school. I mean, we have to finish our online courses, then we have to go back to school, then we have to enroll into more programs of study, and then we have to uh, get our whole system and everything and organized, and then we had to buy a studio, recording equipment, video stuff, and mics, and I'm just pushing it all on the way of the emblem on the front of the land of course that's a Maserati, but we're still kind of like uh pacing it because it's a dangerous art too. I mean, it's a dangerous industry, the entertainment industry. Like, I mean, especially for new artists, but I chose world artists, so my music tempo is a little bit different. I'll probably be traveling to Korea via plane, like my first live performance. I mean, I just don't know because we haven't actually learned how that works yet. We just learned about the music and stuff for it, um, but Gregarious says this is enough. I don't want to keep you guys forever, but this is what this is about. This is the Imposter and Mill channel. We just talk to you and holler you about everything in the day. It's just a refining transparency of what I do on all my other social medias. So what I'm gonna put out, and you have to wait to see what's gonna be live or what's not. So until then, folks, I will catch you around on the other side.